Good afternoon. It's Friday, the 24th of January, 2025, just after 1 o'clock, and welcome to UK Column News. I'm your host, Mike Robinson. Joining me in the studio today is Patrick Henningsen. Welcome to the programme, Patrick.
Great to be with you, Mike.
And by video link, we have Debbie Evans and Mark Anderson. Now, we're going to begin today with, Ukraine negotiations. Are they happening? Are they not happening? What is the Donald up to?
That's the big question. Negotiations, are they going to happen? That's all up in the air at the moment, Mike. So we'll we got this video clip from Donald Trump. He's talking to the press, and what he's saying is quite shocking. They're going crazy in Russia right now listening to some of the stuff that Trump's saying. So we've just got one snippet here, and we'll share this with you right now.
When to speak to President Putin?
Could be very soon.
And you've talked a bit about Ukraine and Russia, but how long do you think it would take to end that conflict? And
I have to speak to President Putin. We're going to have to find out. He can't be thrilled. He's not doing so well. I mean, he's grinding it out, but most people thought that war would have been over in about 1 week. And now you're into 3 years, right? So he can't be thrilled. It's not making him look very good. Now, eventually, it's a big machine, so things will happen. But I think he'd be very well off to end that war. We have numbers that almost 1 million Russian soldiers have been killed. About 700,000 Ukrainian soldiers are killed. Russia's bigger. They have more soldiers to lose. But that's no way to run a country.
I don't know where he's getting his intel from or who's advising him, but that's the craziest thing. We've been listening to commentary for 3 years,
right? From
even the most extreme anti-Russian people haven't said that Russia's lost 1 million soldiers or that Ukraine's lost 700,000. So, what's going on? Who's advising Donald Trump? And he seems clueless, completely clueless. And then he's saying that the war should have been over in a week. That's another sort of trope that's been recycled from the beginning. Putin's not doing so well. The Russian economy is doing better than the European economy, arguably better than, in some cases, even better than the U.S. economy on some levels. But and they've gained territory. So Donbass, Crimea, the longer the war goes on, I think we've had this conversation
exactly
for a while ago. What is Donald Trump thinking? And is this his negotiation positions? I think he's well behind the eight ball on this, well behind the eight ball. And so what's going to happen? How's he going to compensate? We can talk about that.
What were his comments on Twitter?
Well, yeah, on Truthsocial, let's throw this up on screen. This is even more shocking here. This is, I'm not looking to hurt Russia. I love the Russian people, etc. Going on about Russiagate. And then he says, Russia lost 60 million lives during the Second World War. That's a crazy number. The highest I've seen is 25 million in total, 60 million lives in World War II. This is insane. And so where is this stuff coming from? So they're having kittens right now in Russia. If you watch Russian TV, they're like, who is this guy? What is he talking about? Can we take him seriously? That's the conversation in the Russian Security Council, big programs, and some of the political experts are like, who does Donald Trump even have a clue what's going on? And it's almost kind of insulting to give such crazy depictions of World War II to Russians is kind of a crazy thing. And Trump's gone and done it. So I don't know. Really unbelievable.
What are the prospects for a deal?
He thinks that he can just bulge in and be Donald Trump, and that he believes all the hype and his mandate and everything like that. And it's not going to work like that with the Russians. You can't go and say, I'm Donald Trump. You're going to do it this way. This is the way I want it done. And you're going to do it, or all hell's going to break loose. It's not going to work like this.
But all hell is breaking loose.
Well, in terms of Ukraine, I mean, we can talk about some of the analysis on this, but it looks to me like, right now, all hell is breaking loose. So Ukraine just launched drone attacks in not one, not two, not three, but 10 different regions, Bryansk, Kursk, and all the way down to Crimea. Look at all these separate drone attacks, while Zelenskyy is in Davos, basically making his plea for money, weapons. He wants 200,000 NATO troops, peacekeeping troops in Ukraine, or what's left of Ukraine. And so this is what you're looking at here, Mike, is this is designed to prevent any meaningful negotiations from happening. So this is coming from the deep state. They haven't done the changeover at the CIA yet. So they're probably, the British are no doubt pushing this hard because the British don't want to see any serious peace negotiations there. They just want the status quo, which is weapons, tensions, escalation, and rebolstering the NATO front line, the new line of contact between East and West. That's the agenda. So I think Trump could very well be put into a status quo position, and all this talk before the election about I'm going to solve this in 24 hours is going to really look like vaporware, I think.
Absolutely. And maybe some echoes of the first term where he was managed.
Yeah, and he's the one that gave lethal aid first to Ukraine in his first term. Even when Obama wouldn't do it, they got Trump to do it, and they used Russiagate to kind of browbeat him to become more hawkish against Russia. You're going to see that with the sanctions as well. He's going to be very hawkish on sanctions now, because if he can't get this deal done, he'll try to use sanctions and other coercive methods, and that's going to really upset allies like India, for instance. They're threatening secondary sanctions on India because of the oil trade with Russia. I mean, that's not going to go well, but he'll try to use that as leverage for tariff negotiations.
Right.
So this is just going to be crazy, the first 100